What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central, and the Mets take a crucial game one in Philadelphia. Absolutely crucial. Had to find a way to do that, and considering the fact, this is how I felt deep down as this game went along. They couldn't hit Zach Wheeler, but it was still 1-0 because this pitching staff was baller today. This pitching staff was lights out today, kept them in the game for as long as humanly possible, and it gave the Mets the opportunity for when the Phillies got to their bullpen to pounce on that opportunity, and you had to win one in Philly either way, and this is a huge one to get it out early. Why not mess around and win two? Who knows, but we'll focus on that tomorrow because, again, like, this game was just the typical Mets game we've seen over the past, month or two, right? I mean, they're down, and then late in the game, it's just jump on the pitching, either getting fatigued or jump on the bullpen, and they get the job done. Before we jump into everything, leave a like on the post game if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. Man, it felt great to hear all day on TikTok since the Mets have won. It felt great to hear Philadelphia best playoff atmosphere Philadelphia is the best playoff atmosphere that, to have those fans hitting the exits before the game was even over felt great. But we can't get ahead of ourselves here because there's still a lot of work to be done. This is a great baseball team they're going against for a reason, but it is huge to jump on an opportunity there when Zach Wheeler really stuck it. I mean, he really dominated the Mets today, and thank God they won too, so I could complain about the ump without, any Philly fans coming in the comments and being like, oh, typical Met fan crying, oh, blaming the umps, this and that. Thank goodness I don't have to deal with that because holy crap, I've never seen such piss poor officiating in my life. I mean, that was terrible. It was through the entire game, because there were pitches that were on the outside part of the plate that were called strikes, and then, sometimes it wasn't, and then the Iglesias at bat might have been, honestly, there's a lot to pick between the worst one. The Iglesias one might be the worst, though. Somehow, a pitch higher in the zone at the same part of the plate from the previous pitch, which was called a ball, somehow that was a strike. What are you doing? And it was just the entire game. They were terrible. And that's not to take away from what Zach Wheeler did because he was just unreal for Philadelphia. But man, the way Jolly Olive said it was perfect. Both things could be true. The umps were terrible, which was causing Wheeler to get a lot of swing and miss stuff. But Zach Wheeler also dominated. Both things could be true, man. And that's just the truth. But man, this team, you know what? I don't have to care about the umps. I don't have to complain about that, even though I will, because it was egregious and they better not be doing any more games this series. But man, and then how about two? Oh, I forgot to even mention. No, I'll get to it when we talk about the game, inning by inning here. But regardless, this is great. This is great because you made them as well use 3 of their quality relievers in this game. And they'll probably be available tomorrow still, but you showed you could hit off of them, and you made them use some bullets early. Great. Freaking great. And how you know that things are a little bit better, I should say, because I don't want to get too cocky and arrogant here. But after the 1-2-3 inning, Kyle Schwarber hits that leadoff home run off Senga, and everyone's freaking out thinking Senga's not going to have it. Why is he even pitching? This and that. He actually settled down. He walked Harper, got 2 strikeouts. So the ghost fork looked good, and he was even touching up to 97. I thought he was fine. After they got out of that first inning, with it just being 1-0, I was actually feeling on the optimistic side for once. I'm like, that could have got ugly, but the offense is going to have to score either way. Let's lock in and let's get some runs. And unfortunately, it was mission impossible. There was a walk in the second inning from Jesse Winker, but Senga settled down in the second inning, gets a 1-2-3 inning. The Mets went down in order, though, in the third. And then the bottom of the third inning, David Peterson comes in. And look, with Senga, is it ideal what you got from him? Yeah, I mean, I would say, I mean, you got 3 strikeouts. He only allowed that home run. Again, after that home run, he was fine, man. Like, he allowed the 1 run. He allowed a walk there as well. But again, 3 strikeouts, and he was able to get up to, I think, like 30 pitches or so. Next time out there, maybe he's available for 50 or 60, and I'll take that. This is just getting him ramped up, getting his feet wet a little bit, and I will call that a mission success that he only allowed 1 run in 2 innings. I am completely fine with what he gave. David Peterson came in, though, a little dicey in the first inning, but again, the ump was just egregious at times, especially that Bryce Harper at bat, because the 5th pitch of that at bat that they called a ball, man, what are we doing here? That should have been a strike there, but he allowed a single to Schwarber, walked Harper. Outside of that, got the 3 outs, fine. Top of the 4th inning, Vientos with a single, Nimmo with a walk. That was the opportunity to pounce. Pete Alonso strikes out, and then Jose Iglesias hits into that double play, which again, just terrible call during that at bat. Just putrid. I mean, that was just a terrible call there. But we go to the bottom of the 4th. Bohm grounds out, Stott walks, Real Muto grounds out, Marsh flies out. We go to the 5th inning where Winker grounds out, and then Marte gets hit by a pitch and the fans are booing. Are you freaking kidding me? So ridiculous. And I said right then and there, I'm like, humble them. I mean, booing when a guy gets hit by a pitch and hurt. Yeah, okay. Regardless, so then Taylor and Alvarez strike out. Bottom of the 5th inning, Rojas walks, Schwarber grounds out, Turner pops out, Harper strikes out, and then we go to the 5th inning, which I just realized, did I skip past the important point yet? No, I don't think I did. I don't know if I did, but regardless, I'll get to it if I miss it. But we go to the 5th inning where Lindor walks and then Vientos strikes out. Nimmo pops out. Alonso strikes out. We go to the 6th inning. Reed Garrett comes in. How about Reed Garrett today? 1, 2, 3 inning for both of his innings of work. Didn't get any strikeouts, but man, Reed Garrett looked good. And giving you 2 innings, huge, especially with the way David Peterson gave you 3, Senga gave you 2. You didn't really have to utilize a lot of arms, despite the fact that you had to get like 6 innings of work from your bullpen today. I mean, that is just 6, 7 innings, whatever it was. That is just great. Sorry, 7 innings, yeah. But regardless, yeah, you got great work from him. Speaking of the 7th, though, the top of the 7th, outside of the Winker walk, really not much there. And then the 8th inning, the bullpen comes in. Jeff Hoffman comes in. Alvarez with a single to get things going. Bader comes in the pinch run. Love the decision there. Lindor walks. Vientos with an RBI single. And that tied the game at 1 as Lindor gets to 3rd on that one, and Vientos was able to reach 2nd. Strom then comes in, and Nimmo makes it 2-1. Alonso, sacrifice fly, productive out there. I will take it 3-1. Iglesias with a single, and then JD Martinez comes up the pitch hit, and they bring in a righty to face him, and JD Martinez still has it. Unk still got it, makes it 4-1 with a single. Marte with a productive out to make it 5-1. Taylor then pops out, and again, successful inning. You made them burn through some of their better relievers, and you end up taking a 4-run lead at that point. Huge. Phil Maton comes in, though, and makes things shaky. He gets the first 2 strikeouts, no problem. Then allows a double to Harper. Castellanos gets a single, but then Bohm hits into a force out. We go to the 9th where Bader gets a single. Lindor strikes out. Bader steals a bag. Acuna strikes out, and then Nimmo with a single to make it 6-1. Brandon Nimmo starting to play better baseball. Love that. And then Alonso lines out, and then Stanek comes in for the 9th. A little shaky from him. He strikes out Stott, walks Real Muto. Marsh flies out, and then Clemens gets a RBI double to make it 6-2. Schwarber flies out. That is your game. And the detail that I forgot to mention, of course, because there was a really crucial detail here earlier in the game that I cannot believe I forgot to mention. So David Peterson was in the game. This is when Peterson came in. And this is when Trey Turner was on base. So there was a pickoff move to first base, and they called him safe. And they go to the video review room, and for some reason, I don't know what they saw in the video room, but they called him, left the call to stand instead of overturning it when it was clear as day to everybody watching at home that other fan bases were saying it too, that it was clearly an out, and they called that. Good thing it doesn't matter now. It's just a crucial point that I forgot to mention, but it's just, again, just dog shit. Just dog shit officiating the entire game. I'm glad, though, that they got the job done so I don't have to sit here and look like a moron for complaining about the officiating, because that's how it would have been. I mean, the Phillies fans would have been in here calling us crybabies, this and that, but they were terrible. They were terrible. But you got the job done, and the mission going into this was take one in Philadelphia, one of these first two. And I didn't think it was going to be the Zach Wheeler game. If you guys remember, I picked the Mets to win game one, or lose game one and then win 3 in a row. The fact that you win game one and now you go into game two with a chance to really step on their throats, love that. Now there's even more pressure on this Phillies team, because the way that the fans were talking after Schwarber hit that leadoff home run, they swore the game was over right then and there. But now you got a chance to step on their throats, and you got Christopher Sanchez going because Rob Thompson admitted that he's scared that the Citi Field crowd will get under Sanchez's skin. That speaks volumes to how much this crowd at Game 3. I mean, I already know it's going to be crazy on Tuesday. I'll be in attendance. But man, the fact that he knows it and is planning the pitching around that, love that. I love to hear that. But still a lot of work to do. So a lot of work to do. Just get one win out of 3 that they got to get here in this 5-game series. And they got a very important win, though, out of the way, because winning game 1 on the road with that type of pitcher on the mound, I mean, it's a huge statement that we're not fucking around. And they got the timely hits too late. But yeah, great position to be in. Leave a like I said, if you haven't already, subscribe, all that other stuff. And now I'll get to the chat and see what you guys are saying. Max, let's go. Nick, let's go. As a Yankee fan, you guys are not a team to mess with. I mean, hey, I appreciate that. Wheeler crying home to his mommy. Hey, Zach Wheeler pitched a good game, man. I'm not going to rip on Zach Wheeler. He was good for them, but... And, you know, deep down, I do miss him, but the Mets got a crucial win because they were going to have to win 1 out of 2, most likely facing Zach Wheeler. And the fact that you got one of these wins against Zach Wheeler, not particularly against him, but in a start where he appears, where he went 7 innings, 9 strikeouts. I mean, that's a game that he probably wins more times than not. But the Mets pitching, we spanked them. Yeah. Imagine a Subway Series, World Series matchup. I wouldn't complain who the Mets play if they're in the World Series. Wouldn't complain one bit if that ended up being the outcome. Happy with what I saw from Peterson, and I loved the versatility they had with the bullpen. Even though they had to use a lot of relievers, or not even that many. I mean, they used 4 guys out of the pen. Even having to do all that and getting that many outs from your bullpen, you still have Tyler McGill in the wings. Tyler McGill did not step foot on the mound like I thought he would. I thought it was going to be a Senga-McGill piggyback type start. So if you have to, worst case tomorrow, which I am hoping not, and I am hoping Severino goes out there and shoves tomorrow because we really need him to, you have that insurance with Tyler McGill to go in there and eat a few innings if you need to. And that's just a great spot to be in. Like, how many times were we annoyed during the regular season down the stretch here that they didn't have a long man and it could have won them maybe some more games down the stretch? Now they have that. Now they have multiple long men in this bullpen, and David Peterson, great work from him. And I love that you have the righty go out there and then you bring in the lefty and Peterson to get this lineup that was set up to face the right-hander. You get those guys to have a mismatch there because Rob Thompson wasn't going to pull guys like Marsh out of the lineup early or any of those other guys, you know, or like Johan Rojas, although he's a righty, but regardless, you know, I just loved the matchup and the strategy that Carlos Mendoza went with there. And now you still have some bullets saved. Like Diaz didn't have to step foot on the mound, which the Fox crew, which was terrible today. I mean, Adam Wainwright is unbearable. I mean, the dick eating for the Phillies was crazy the entire game, like with Trey Turner's speed and everything. Regardless, they're like, oh, huge win there for the Phillies. They made Diaz have to get loose. Do they know that Edwin Diaz is like one of the guys that just is, like could warm up with 10 pitches in the bullpen? Clearly they don't, because they don't study up on anything, but it's not really a huge win for them. And if that's their only win, then I'm not complaining, because you didn't use Diaz today. Huge with the amount of pitches he's thrown lately. You stayed away from McGill, because now if, again, God forbid things go south, you have a guy that could eat multiple innings out of the pen if you need to. Ottavino I don't love, but you have him. And Danny Young, I mean, he still hasn't stepped foot on the mound in the postseason. So you still have Danny Young, who's well rested. And you got to think that with this amount of rest that he's got at this point, he's going to be ready to go. And you didn't use Jose Budo, which is huge because he's a guy that needs multiple days of rest. I would love it if they could save the bullets and not need him tomorrow as well. I think that there's a world where they're going to have to use him, unfortunately, tomorrow. But if they could somehow avoid Budo tomorrow, that's huge, because all of a sudden you have another guy that could give you multiple innings in game 3, and then with him being on 4 days of rest at that point. But man, Mendoza managed this game really well. He managed this game great. What's my least favorite team in the MLB? I mean, either the Braves or the Phillies. Probably the Braves or the Phillies. Yeah, it was all right, Joe. I'm wearing red today. Freaking annoying. They came, they saw, they conquered. The Fox crew was hard, yeah. Will Senga pitch in again 2024? Yeah, he will. Absolutely. He'll pitch. Unless, God forbid, we hear about something, which I pray we don't, but I guess we have to wait and see how he feels tomorrow, because you never know with Senga, unfortunately, but I'd imagine he does. I mean, I don't see a world why he wouldn't. Like, he could always... I'd imagine he's going to be available if there is a Game 5, which hopefully they're not in a scenario where they need to play that, play a Game 5. Who's pitching Tuesday? Sean Manaea is probably going to get the ball on Tuesday. I'd imagine he does. I mean, he's earned the right, in my opinion, to go out there for the home crowd, in front of 40,000 that are foaming at the mouth for this team that we have not seen play baseball in their stadium in almost, like, in half a month at this point. I mean, it's been a very long time. What was the last day exactly? Let's say. What was the last day exactly they played at Citi Field? It's been a while, though. I mean, it really has. Yeah, since they play. I mean, the last time was against the Phillies. Yeah, September 22nd. By the time they get back, it is going to be over 2 weeks since they've played at Citi Field. This crowd's going to be foaming at the mouth for this team to return. And if they are somehow, some way up in this series, 2-0 coming back to Citi Field, I mean, forget about it with the crowd. The crowd is going to be freaking bonkers on Tuesday if that's the scenario. Man, could you imagine that? I don't want to get too ahead of myself with that, but man, because either way, again, I'm satisfied with the fact that they were able to take one here of these first two in Philly. But man, just imagine they found a way to do it. And the crowd. Win the next game and put a chokehold on this team. I'd love that. Tomorrow is Severino. Yes, Severino is pitching tomorrow. Severino tomorrow. And and then Wednesday will probably be, not Wednesday, Tuesday will probably be Manaea. And then if there is a game on Wednesday, it would probably be Jose Quintana. And then you're probably going to see this combination again. If God forbid there's a game 5, which hopefully not. Hopefully the Mets could just pounce on this opportunity that they have right in front of them now. Got to win 2 out of these next 4. Easier said than done, especially against this team, but it's a good start. It's a step in the right direction. But let's see if there's anything on I'm trying to see if there's anything on Twitter about like any updates with stuff like that. Like the pitching and everything. If Senga gets another start, how many innings do you expect? It depends how he's doing. I mean, if he's similar to the path he was on today, hopefully not allowing a leadoff home run, though, of course. I think he could give you like 3-4 innings. Yeah, I think 3 or 4 is realistic. Our 3, 4, 5 game starters are better than theirs. I mean, Zach Wheeler is going to get the ball. If there's a game 5, Wheeler gets the ball for game 5. That's not even a question. That's why I think now that they got this win, it is crucial that you find a way to wrap this up in 4. You got to find a way to at least wrap it up in 4. Wrap it up in 3, I'm feeling even better. But find a way. I know it's a high demand, and I know that it's not easy, but, you know, find a way to get this done in 4 if you have to. Again, 3 would be great. I'm not going to anticipate that, but find a way to get it done. Thought he was sharp after the home run. I agree with you. I think he was fine after the home run. Like, it could have been way worse. Like, that's where my confidence was, honestly, because we've seen this team trail early time and time again. And, you know, I won't lie, as we progress through the game and Wheeler shoving, I'm like, are they even going to be able to score at all? You know, maybe get a run against the bullpen, but what are they realistically going to do? And as it kept progressing, I started to get a little more worried. But, you know, I felt comfortable for the most part that at some point they were going to break through. But I didn't know if they were going to do that. Like, I thought this was going to have to be like a 3-1, 2-1 balls to the wall type win. But yeah, they pounced on them a lot in that 8th inning. Pounced on them a lot. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. But that is going to be it for me. I've been going for about 20 minutes now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Do not forget to leave a like if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.